Awesome. Just before we get into the WrestleMania talk, you worked closely now with the Singh brothers for a long time. You guys had a lot of great chemistry. Is it tough to see Harp get injured the way he has? And have you offered him some advice about working through the adversity? I mean, you've had your share of adversity in your career.
Yeah, definitely it's tough. But again, that's part of the WWE. That's part of the business. Fortunately, injuries happen, and they never happen at a good time. But I believe everything happens for a reason, and I check up on him often, maybe once a week. I'll reach out to him, see how his rehab is going, see how his recovery is coming along. So everything's on track. He's on track to come back, and I just reminded that he's going to come back better than before, and everything happens for a reason. I just tell him to focus on his rehab, not worry, not think that he's missing out or anything. And especially he kind of felt bad, like he was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." I was like, he was apologizing to me, like, he felt bad that that he wasn't going to be able to contribute to the group anymore. But I told him it's okay. It's all good. These things happen. They all happen for a reason, and you're going to come back better and stronger than before.
Have you had a chance to sit back? I mean, since you lost the title, kind of reflect on what you accomplished, from last year after WrestleMania, right through to dropping the title a few months back. Have you had a chance to sort of reflect back on that and take pride in what you did in that period of time?
Yeah, absolutely. I have reflected. I'm very proud of what I accomplished, but I'm hungrier than ever. I want to accomplish even more this year. I want to accomplish even more at WrestleMania. I definitely want WrestleMania moments. So I've been in a few WrestleManias, but I've only been in the Battle Royals, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royals. What I did with Gronk last year was awesome. It was cool. I got a lot of great coverage, but I still feel like I haven't had that WrestleMania moment. So, although I'm proud, I'm still hungry.
And how do you get that moment now? I mean, last year, like you say, you went in and you were a part of the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. You were in there to the end, and then a few weeks later, your career just took off. There's 5 weeks to go now till WrestleMania. How do you secure that moment?
I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. Last 2 weeks, I left SmackDown Live standing tall over Bobby Roode and Randy Orton, right? So I'm just doing what I'm doing my thing, staying focused, pitching storylines, staying aggressive in the ring, training hard. I'm just doing me, is what I usually do. But I'm doing the same things that got me to becoming WWE champion.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to many more runs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. We're going to move over to Miguel at Sport.
Hello, Jinder. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Okay, after being released by WWE in 2014, you thought it would be a good option to try opening a restaurant of a fast food franchise, but in the end you decided to continue your career as a performer. What was the motivation you had to keep wanting to compete in pro wrestling?
It was just something inside of me that said, that there's more that I can accomplish, that, this is not it. It's not time yet to throw in the towel. I was still young. When I got released, I was 27 years old. When I came back, I was 29. So, I'm 31 years old right now. So I believe that, my prime is still yet to come. It was just something inside of me that told me that, hey, you give it 100%, you will achieve great things. And that's exactly what I did. So I decided to start training hard again, dieting hard again, gave up drinking, everything, just focused. And 2 months later, I was signed to WWE. And 10 months after coming back, I was WWE champion. So it was just something inside of me.
Now talking about your return to WWE, when you came back in 2016, did you know that you will have a main event run, even being the WWE champion during a period of time?
I didn't know it was going to happen, but I was wishing it was it was going to happen. I was going to do everything in my power to make it happen. I didn't become WWE champion by accident. It was all because of the hard work that I was putting in. You don't become a champion in anything just by accident without trying. It was obviously my goal, and I worked very hard at it. And I achieved it, but my goals are much bigger now. I want to be a 10-time WWE champion. I want to main event at WrestleMania. I want to go into the Hall of Fame someday. So I'm going to continue to work hard and achieve all these things.
And now, my last question is, you need to think about and take a look back in time, because what is, in your opinion, what the title run of Jinder Mahal has provided to the WWE Universe during 2017?
I think it provided, first and foremost, a shock, which is not every day you can shock the WWE Universe because they've seen everything. And with today's day and age with social media and everything and internet, but I genuinely believe nobody expected me to become WWE champion that night. They zoomed in on the faces of the WWE Universe, the crowd, and everybody's jaw was at the end. That was first and foremost a cool moment, and I believe it gave them a fresh storyline. Oftentimes I hear a critique of the WWE is, it's the same few guys in the main events. So it was cool. I was elevated to that level, but I look forward to the new guys that are coming. Someone like Bobby Roode, who's already elevated himself. He's a United States champion. And I believe more and more WWE superstars are going to come. Like NXT is awesome. They've provided us with so many great superstars, and going to continue to be. Like, for example, Drew McIntyre. I know he's injured right now, but he's going to be back very soon. And I definitely see him being on Raw and SmackDown, and I definitely see him becoming a WWE champion someday.
Thank you so much for your time, Jinder, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Miguel. We'll move over to Fernando.
Hi, Jinder.
Hello.
So last year you were close to winning the Battle Royale on the Giant. Will you win this year the Battle Royale, or maybe have a greater goal? Maybe
So I obviously have a bigger goal. My goal is to main event to WrestleMania. Unfortunately, I didn't win the Royal Rumble this year, but my goals are much bigger. I always aim. I always aim high. If I was in the Battle Royal, I'm going to win the Battle Royal. If I'm in a WWE Championship match, I'm going to win the WWE Championship match. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing at WrestleMania right now. I have some ideas. Obviously, my goals are very, very big. But whatever I will be doing this year at WrestleMania, I promise you I will be successful. I've learned so much this past year, and I'm going to apply everything that I've learned, and I'm going to continue to work hard, and someday I will main event WrestleMania.
You talk about Drew McIntyre, his injury, you think that maybe not see?
Sorry, what's the question?
Yeah, can you repeat that, please? I didn't catch it either.
Yes, you talk about Drew McIntyre and his injury.
Yes.
You think that maybe soon we can see the wrestling in set.
Yeah, Drew will definitely be back. I actually work out with Drew almost every week, and he's coming back bigger, stronger, faster than ever. And definitely I can see us having some matches in the future. And oftentimes I get asked, do you think there's going to be a 3MB reunion? And I joke and I say, yes, someday there will be, hopefully not for a long time. But when there is a 3MB reunion, I promise you guys we will be a lot more successful than we were in the past.
Thank you, Jinder, and good luck for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move over to my favorite outlet to pronounce, Mundo Deportivo.
Hi, Jinder. How do you doing?
I am fantastic, thank you.
Would you like to bring back the Great Khali as your manager in WrestleMania?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Great Khali is a huge name in the history of WWE. He's accomplished so much. Not only that, he is one of the most recognizable figures in all of India. And, I someday hope to achieve that same level of success that Great Khali has had. He's represented India so well, two-time world heavyweight champion. But ultimately, my goal is to be even bigger than Khali. But Khali is like my older brother, someone that I go to advice for. And I would definitely like to have him in my corner. If not at WrestleMania, definitely sometime in the future. Maybe next time I have a Punjabi prison match.
Absolutely. Now with Kavita Devi and more wrestlers from India, would you like to form a group from India in SmackDown Live?
I'm already in a group on SmackDown Live, or I was at Six Brothers, but yeah, that would be great. More additions. That would be great to add a female, someone like Kavita Devi, who's an absolute powerhouse. She has a powerlifting background, but she's now training at the Performance Center along with a couple others. The gentleman from $1 Billion Arm is there. Amarpreet Singh is there. Another gentleman who was an actor in India is there. So I'm looking forward to see what the future brings, whether we form a faction or there are other individuals themselves. So I wish all of them the best of luck, and I hope they achieve everything. I want to see more world champions, more WWE champions, more women's champions, all from India.
To finish, in your opinion, who should be the next inductee in the WWE Hall of Fame?
I would like to see British Bulldog.
Okay, nice choice. Thank you so much for your time, Jinder, and see you in New Orleans. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Miguel. We're going to move over to Mirko at Sport Fair.
Hi, Jinder. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
Great. So my first question is about your very particular career in WWE. After your return, you started from the bottom until you became a WWE champion. May you speak about your hard work to become a champion, and what did you feel when you finally won the title?
Initially that feeling is indescribable. It's all the years of hard work, all the years of sacrifice, traveling down the roads, it all comes to that one moment, and that one moment makes it all worth it. It's everything that I dreamed of since I was a child, since I first watched WWE when I was 4 years old. Growing up, idolizing guys like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and to be in the same class as those guys. So I was the 50th ever WWE champion. So that's not a large group of individuals that have held that championship. It's a very elite group and a very exclusive group. So, just knowing that my name is forever etched in history with those gentlemen's names that I had named, or names like Bruno Sammartino, The Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bob Backlund, it truly is an honor, but it's not. I didn't have a feeling of satisfaction because I continue to stay hungry, and I want to hold a championship even more times than many other championships in WWE. I want to go down in history as one of the all-time greats, just like a Bret Hart or a Shawn Michaels or even a John Cena.
Okay, second one for me. In a couple of weeks, there will be WrestleMania. Would you prefer to be at WrestleMania as a champion, maybe a United States champion, and defend the title successfully, or be the first contender and have the opportunity to win in such prestigious event?
I think you're asking me whether I would be United States champion or challenge for the WWE Championship.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going with.
I would say I'm going to risk it all and say I want to challenge for the WWE Championship because just like before, everybody doubted me. They thought that I wouldn't become WWE champion. I know that if I was given another opportunity, I would do whatever it takes to, again, become a WWE champion. And what bigger stage, what grander stage is there than in WrestleMania? It truly is a spectacle. I believe it's the biggest sporting event in the world. In my opinion, it's bigger than the Super Bowl. It's bigger than the NBA Finals. WrestleMania is the peak. It's the Mecca. And what a moment it would be to capture the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
Okay, last one for me. You were born in Canada, but you have a clear Indian origins. How important is it for you to represent an entire nation like India?
Yeah, it's very important to me. I'm representing my heritage. I'm representing India. I often say the 1.3 billion people of the great nation of India. It's a huge honor, and I'm very proud to represent them. And they're very proud to have me as a representative in India. I was the first ever Indian WWE champion, and I took the WWE championship to India. Unfortunately, I didn't defend it in India, but I went there one time on a media tour. So that was the first time WWE champion brought the WWE championship to India, and everybody was so proud. Everybody was so supportive, and I look forward to defending. Hopefully, next time we go back to India, I will be defending the WWE championship on Indian soil. Unfortunately, I lost the WWE championship, but I had a huge match against Triple H. A great match. It was a huge honor to share the ring with someone like Triple H. I learned so much. It was a huge event, but a part of me still wishes I was WWE champion at the time, but it will happen in the future.
Okay, I am done. Thank you, Jinder, for answering my questions, and good luck for your career and your future.
Thank you, Mirko. We're going to move over to Francisco. You can go ahead.
Yes, this is a question for you from Post Italy. Hi, Jinder.
Hello.
Hi. How was your experience as a WWE champion, and how was to face AJ Styles?
My experience as WWE champion was great. It was a blessing. It was everything that I hoped for. I held the WWE championship for 6 months, which is no small feat. I faced many competitors, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, but ultimately I lost the championship to AJ Styles, who I believe is one of the best in-ring performers that there is today. He's one of the best I've ever stepped in the ring with. He's tough, he's resilient, he's unpredictable, he's a high flyer. The mission master at the same time, preparing for someone like AJ Styles is very, very difficult. Fortunately, he beat me, but in the past, I have beaten AJ Styles, and again, someday, given that opportunity, whether he's WWE champion or not, I will again beat AJ Styles, and someday I will again become WWE champion.
Okay, and talking about WrestleMania, do you have a dream match for the event?
Yeah, so my dream match would be Shawn Michaels at a WrestleMania. Mr. WrestleMania himself against me, I think we can create a magic, memorable WrestleMania match, given that opportunity. I know he's retired right now, so this would be Shawn Michaels in his prime.
Okay, thank you. And last question. Your body is one of the main reasons of your success in WWE. What kind of training do you do to make your body as it is?
Yeah, definitely. My fitness, my body has definitely led to my success in WWE because I've become stronger, faster, more flexible, and just more ripped, which definitely helps as a WWE superstar, becoming more athletic. So I do various types of training. First thing in the morning, I do cardio. I train weights. I also do yoga, stretching. And oftentimes on my Instagram, I train with my workout partner who gives me conditioning drills. So I'll do superset many exercises in a row. We'll do the sled, flip tires, just whip it out with the hammers. So all kinds of training methods. And that's why I believe my body has reacted so well, because I'm constantly switching things up. That's the thing with working out. You have to switch things up because your body gets used to one same type of training.
Okay, thank you very much, and good luck at WrestleMania.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move it over to David Dunn in New Zealand.
Hello, Jinder. Good morning from New Zealand. You spoke a little bit earlier about being proud to represent India and your massive popularity in India. I was just wondering, how do you feel receiving such different reactions around the globe? You know, for example, in the United States, you're not particularly beloved, but when you return to India, you know, you're a conquering hero. Not dissimilar to, say, Bret Hart, where he was, you know, not the biggest fan favorite in the States, but then beloved in Canada.
Yes, definitely. I was a child at that time, and I was a huge Bret Hart fan. You know, I would watch WWE television, and he'd get booed out of the building in the United States. But that's a cool thing with WWE. That's what I believe that makes us a global phenomenon. You know, I can step on into a ring anywhere in the world and get a totally different reaction. But I know India is very, very proud. And I said it on the microphone a couple times on SmackDown Live, you know, that America is jealous of me. They're jealous of my success. They're jealous of everything that I accomplished. But it's a great feeling, and you know, it's very cool being a WWE superstar. Not only getting different reactions, but being able to visit all these different countries that we visit. I haven't yet been to New Zealand, but I hope to be there soon. WrestleMania is like the ultimate melting pot. The WrestleManias that I've been in the past at Access, when I interact with the fans, I always ask them, which country are you from? And to see like all the different countries everybody comes from is truly amazing, and it speaks volumes for the global phenomenon that WWE has become.
Absolutely, and hey, we'd love to have you come over to New Zealand at some point. Now, last year you issued a challenge to Brock Lesnar in the build-up to Survivor Series. You know, unfortunately for you, AJ Styles defeated you for the WWE Championship. The matchup wasn't able to happen. Is that a matchup that you still want, or that you still see as a possibility, you versus Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want that match someday. You know, Brock is a household name. He's one of the most recognizable athletes in the entire world in any sport. So definitely that would be a huge blockbuster match. And I think I'd fare pretty well against someone like Brock Lesnar. He has a physical style, and you know, I believe that I can take a lot of punishment. I actually enjoyed watching him and AJ Styles. Believe it or not, you know, that was a great match. But a part of me did wish that was me in there that day in Survivor Series. But I'm confident it'll happen someday.
And then finally from me, in September of last year, there was a lot of discussion about the possibility of you walking your fellow Indian-Canadian UFC fighter Arjun Singh-Bulla to the Octagon. That didn't end up panning out. I was just wondering if you could speak to maybe why not, and if that is something you would look at revisiting again. You know, I know he's got a fight coming up in April. Is it a possibility we could see you accompanying him to the cage?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to, you know, support my fellow Canadians, fellow Indians. UFC fighter. He's the first ever Indian UFC fighter that there's ever been. I was supposed to go down, and that fight was actually in Edmonton, which is not far from my home in my hometown in Calgary. But the hurricane had come in Tampa, and I have some rental properties over there, and I couldn't just leave my tenants there, so I had to, you know, board up the houses and everything. So I got a little bit busy with that. With Hurricane Irma, it just came at a bad time. But definitely someday, if schedules allow, that fight actually schedule worked perfect because we didn't have a WWE live event that day. But every week we have shows. You know, WWE Raw is the longest running episodic weekly show that there is ever. So, you know, we're on the road 52 weeks a year. But if schedule permits, sometime I would definitely like to support my brother, Arjun Singh-Bulla, in the UFC.
Fantastic. Thanks for your time today. All the best on the road to WrestleMania.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. We'll move over to midday. Gaurav. All right, Indian Express, we'll move over to you then.
Hello.
There you go. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Jinder. Good evening. So, first of all,
आपल्याला भुगताना कॉल केला आहे त्याने तुमचा कॉल होल्डवर ठेवला आहे.
Hello.
Yep, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know where that came from, so you can go ahead.
Yes, some background. Sorry. Yeah. So I'll go ahead once again. So Jinder, since you lost the title to AJ Styles, you haven't won a title. You came to India. You had a fabulous match with Triple H. But would you consider this as a dip in form? And when can we expect you to get back on top?
Joe, did you hear the first question?
Well, I think you were just saying that you had a rivalry with AJ Styles and dropped the title to him. When can you expect you to be back on top of WWE with the WWE Championship?
I expect to be WWE champion again very, very soon. But right now, I actually have my eyes set on the United States Championship. You know, it barely escaped my hands. And there's something in me that wants to be the United States champion. Unfortunately, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon made the match for Fastlane. It's going to be Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode, but I believe I should be in that match. It was me that was standing tall the last 2 weeks on SmackDown Live over Randy Orton and Bobby Roode. But either way, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to be successful, whether it's the WWE Championship or the United States Championship or any other championship that I choose to capture. But right now, my main goal is the United States Championship. But someday I will turn my attention to the WWE Championship because ultimately my goal in WWE is to hold every championship that there is possible that I can hold.
So can we say that your best is yet to come?
Totally. I believe I haven't even hit my prime yet. I still have a long career ahead of me, many championship runs, and I will main event to WrestleMania. I will become Universal Champion, WWE Champion, Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, and Tag Champion. And I will also win a Royal Rumble.
Sorry?
I will also someday win a Royal Rumble.
Okay. You just said a couple of minutes back a part of you wishes that you were the champion during your visit to India. So, considering the massive popularity you had at that point of time, were you a bit disappointed that you were not the champion when you came to India?
No, I wasn't disappointed at all because I had a huge respect for Triple H. Stepping in the ring with a legend like Triple H is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I know I'll get another chance to represent India as WWE champion, and someday I look forward to making history because the WWE Championship has never been defended in India by an Indian champion, and I'm going to make that happen someday. That's my goal, and I'm going to keep working hard at that goal. Instead of being disappointed, I remain optimistic. I remain hungry. I will make that happen. I will make that a reality.
Okay. And my last question, a couple of weeks, you just said that you would love to face Bobby Roode for the US Championship. A couple of weeks back, Bobby Roode spoke to us and he said that he does not wish to relinquish the title anytime soon. So how do you think you will be able to defeat him and reclaim the title?
Yeah, any champion, any true champion, any great champion does not want to relinquish, does not want to lose a championship. But sometimes it's not up to them, it's up to their opponent because they get outworked, they get overpowered, they get overmatched. And I believe I have Bobby Roode's number. He got lucky tonight that he beat me on SmackDown Live. Again, I wasn't ready for that match. SmackDown management made me compete twice in the same night, which I was not ready to do. I needed a week to prepare for an opponent like Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is a very tough opponent. But given the right circumstances, enough time to prepare, I believe I can beat Bobby Roode. He's a great superstar, but he is no modern-day Maharaja.
Okay. And now that Ronda Rousey has arrived in WWE, what do you think about that? What advice? What
I think it's awesome. I watched her contract signing. Seen her put Triple H to the table. I'm looking forward to seeing, what she brings to WWE, she's a phenomenal athlete, a world-class athlete, a rookie. She revolutionized the women's division in the UFC, and I can only imagine what she's going to do for us in WWE. Again, one of the most recognizable faces in the entire world. And I'm also very supportive of anybody that brings more attention to the WWE, because I want to see WWE become even bigger than what it is, and even more bigger internationally. And Ronda Rousey is a huge international figure, so I'm very excited to see what it brings. And I'm very happy that she has a genuine passion for WWE, and I can see her competing against the top of our women's division, our ladies like Sasha Banks, or someone like Charlotte, Nia Jax, Asuka, Natalia, and many more of them. I'm looking forward to seeing all these matchups.
Great. We're going to move over to Catch News.
Hello, Jinder. How are you?
Hello, I'm awesome. Thank you.
So last year you became WWE champion for the first time, and it was a big surprise for the fans. Was it difficult for you to become a main eventer after spending quite some time on the mid-card of the roster? And were you well prepared for this turning point in your career?
Yeah, absolutely. It's difficult. There's an immense amount of stress, a great amount of stress for main eventing pay-per-view. When I won the championship at Backlash, it was the main event of the pay-per-view. And I had not main evented a pay-per-view ever before. So definitely there's a lot of stress, but I use that stress as motivation. That stress is what fueled me, leading up to Backlash or any other of the pay-per-views or the main events on television or even the main events of live events. That stress is what drives me in the gym. It's what makes me wake up every day hungry. I want to compete at the highest level possible, and I want even more opportunities. I look forward to, again, someday main eventing pay-per-views. It's an addictive feeling, being a champion and closing out a show, and someday it is my goal to close out a WrestleMania. So I continue to work hard, and I will accomplish many more things in the WWE.
Okay, and even though you were a great ambassador for the growing Indian market, aren't you afraid that your modern-day Maharaja character could end up being too one-dimensional or too cliché?
No, I wasn't worried about that. I often sometimes think like it's a throwback to the old school characters that we used to have in WWE, and what's old is sometimes is new again. So I bring some of that old flavor, but with a little bit of a modern flavor. You see, like when I would come, I would have dressed in like traditional Indian outfit. I would wear like nice custom fitted suits and everything. So I was an evolution. Then I continue to evolve, and you'll see many more sides of Jinder Mahal. I'm excited to see what I'm going to evolve to in the next phase, because if you look at some of the all-time great superstars, they all have phases where they evolve. Even if you look at someone like John Cena, to where he started to where he is now, someone like Shawn Michaels or Undertaker, it's a constant evolution. Or someone like Chris Jericho, who has had so much longevity in his career, and I believe that longevity is because he keeps reinventing himself. So I'm interested to see where I'm going to be in the future, how I'm going to reinvent myself, and how I'm going to evolve. But I will evolve, and it's inevitable. You got to change with the times and change with the storylines, change with the characters, and I'm excited to see what the future brings.
Okay, and one last question. We saw how The Miz put the Intercontinental Championship under the spotlight for the past month, and in many ways he made it even more prestigious than the Universal Championship on Raw. If you became United States Champion in the near future at WrestleMania, for example, what would you do to elevate this title in the main event of SmackDown?
Yeah, I love what Miz has been doing with the Intercontinental Championship over on Raw. Definitely, I'm a very competitive person, and I see everything that someone like Miz does, but I want to do better. Definitely, if I hold the WWE United States Championship over on SmackDown, I'm going to defend it whenever given the opportunity, and I want to have like those memorable moments and memorable matches with everybody. I believe we have many great superstars on SmackDown Live, guys like Obviously, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, who's a very real threat. Dolph Ziggler. I believe SmackDown Live has many, many great superstars, and I look forward to defending the WWE champion, the WWE United States Championship against all of them. But ultimately, it will be my goal to raise the profile of that championship.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck on your road to WrestleMania.
Merci. We'll move over to Arnaud at caq.fr.
Yes. Hi, Jinder.
Hello.
My first question is, last year at WrestleMania, you almost won the Andre the Giant Memorial Royal, but you didn't because of Rob Gronkowski. What do you think about a possible match against him this year at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. I actually kind of stirred the pot a little bit when he lost the Super Bowl. I said in a tweet. So that would be phenomenal. I mean, Rob Gronkowski is a tremendous, tremendous athlete. He loves the WWE, and I could see him someday being a great WWE superstar. But he also cost me the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, to which I want revenge. And I want to defeat him just like he faced defeat at the Super Bowl. I want him to face defeat at an even bigger event, which is WrestleMania. And but I think that would be a huge blockbuster match. And it's not just WrestleMania, somewhere down the future. Hopefully at a WrestleMania, hopefully we can make that a reality.
Okay. My second question is, Ronda Rousey just officially joined WWE Sunday night during Elimination Chamber. Can you imagine another non-pro wrestler celebrity joining WWE and making as much noise as she did?
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see. So Bollywood is very, very big, not only in India but all over the world. So Bollywood is actually bigger than Hollywood in terms of the amount of movies that they produce and the amount of viewership. So I would like to see a Bollywood actor. Maybe you're probably not familiar with these names, but I'll give you some anyway. There's an Indian Bollywood actor named Hrithik Roshan, who's very, very fit. Or there's another one named Akshay Kumar. I would like to see them in the WWE. Akshay Kumar has a martial arts background. He's a huge, huge star, and I would like to see him in a WWE ring, ideally as my tag team partner.
Oh, interesting. And my final question is, what do you think about fans who criticize your run as WWE champion?
I'm open to the criticism because it's a criticism that drives me, that motivates me. I want to prove people wrong. People have been doubting me my entire career. And the fact that you have criticism is an indication that you're doing something right. If you search any top athlete in any sport, I promise you will find criticism. That just comes with success. That's just a part of it. But it's up to you whether you succumb to that criticism and let it affect you negatively, or you rise above that criticism and you use it as motivation and prove those people wrong. And I choose to prove the people wrong, so I encourage the criticism. I welcome the criticism.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. All the best for your future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arnold.
Thank you.
Maddie Paddock, you can go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks very much for your time. I just wanted to pick up really on something you'd mentioned earlier with regards to the British Bulldog being your pick for the Hall of Fame. Obviously, as a Brit, it's something I would agree with, but I'm fairly biased. So I just wondered what your thoughts really on why you'd have him in there.
Yeah, he's had a great storied career. Everything from tag teaming with Dynamite Kid to breaking out on his own. I spoke earlier about the evolution, and he's had a great evolution. From when he started in Stampede Wrestling in Calgary for Stu Hart, or even before that, training in England and being brought in, being the cousin of Dynamite Kid, to that classic match at Wembley Stadium against Bret Hart at SummerSlam. That's one of my favorite matches. And he's just a great superstar in the history of WWE. And I don't think it's a matter of if he'll be in the Hall of Fame. It's just a matter of when he'll become a member of the Hall of Fame.
And just on a sort of loosely related note, from a UK point of view, just with regards to the match between you and AJ Styles in Manchester a few months ago, obviously dropping the title on that night, a losing effort sort of on your part, but in terms of an occasion, the energy of that night, I thought fairly historic result in terms of WWE. Just your thoughts on how that night played out and your memories of it?
Yeah, so that was the first time ever on SmackDown Live that WWE Championship changed hands overseas, outside of North America. So that was history was made that night. But the match actually was one of my best matches I've ever had. And I've said this before, even though I lost, I believe like I really won that night. You know, I was winning. I gave AJ Styles everything that I had and more. But unfortunately, he came out on top. But the energy in that building was amazing. I mean, AJ Styles he really is phenomenal, and the fans love him. I often sometimes think like he might be the number one WWE superstar in terms of fan reaction. Like, there's not a person in the building that boos him. Everybody genuinely loves him, and everybody was genuinely so happy for him when he beat me, which was kind of bittersweet. I remember laying there in the mat as he pinned me, and my eyes were closed, and just listening to the reaction of the crowd. You know, I seen a couple cups of beer fly into the ring out of happiness. You know, everyone was genuinely happy. So that's a cool moment, and it's a moment that I'll never forget.
Just very briefly, just lastly from me, you know, taking into account your rise in WWE over the last couple of years and where you started in your first run, if you had to give any advice to perhaps either some of the young stars in NXT who are really hungry just to get ahead and to press on with their careers, who guys perhaps, you know, aren't happy with their spot and want a bit more on the main roster, what would you say to them with regards to perhaps, you know, being patient and sort of waiting for those opportunities when they come along and being ready for them?
Yeah, definitely stay ready, stay hungry, stay motivated. You know, we're so blessed to be WWE superstars. Sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we take it for granted. You know, what we do, many people across the world wish they could do that. But I would also tell everybody, you know, upcoming or people who aren't happy with the position, that you are 100% in charge of your career in the WWE. You will go as far as you are willing to take it. You know, you're 100% in control of your destiny. No one else except you. You know, you can work hard and you can elevate yourself, or you can make excuses like I did in the past, speaking from experience, and see yourself go down the card and even, you know, get released from WWE. But fortunately, I was given a second opportunity in WWE, and being given a second opportunity, I was not going to take anything for granted. You know, every day is a blessing, every day is an opportunity, and it's up to you to take advantage of that opportunity.
That's great. Thanks very much for your time. Have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matty. Ash Rose, you all right?
Hi, Jinder. How you doing?
Hello, I'm fantastic. Thank you.
Good to speak to you. Just touching on you mentioned WrestleMania moment quite a few times. What for you in the past sort of WrestleManias going through history? What are your favourite WrestleMania moments?
So some of my favorite WrestleMania matches, I believe that's what you're asking me, correct?
Yes.
Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, Bret Hart versus Shawn the Iron Man match, The Rock versus Hulk Hogan is one of my favorite matches. Just to see the crowd reaction, the energy in the building that day in Toronto. I believe it was WrestleMania 18, or Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, the two matches that they had. You know, those are some of my favorite WrestleMania moments. But man, anything in WrestleMania is just so big. It truly is a spectacle. So the WrestleManias that I've been in, like earlier before the crowd comes in, I step out on the stage and I walk the ring and I look around and I see the stadium and just imagine, like, man, how did WWE accomplish this? But it goes to speak volumes for the vision that someone like Vince McMahon has, or the rest of the executives in WWE, everybody, you know, that works behind the scenes in WWE. It's a testament to the hard work that they put in and the vision that they had. To think that by Vince McMahon. It was either be successful or ultimately that would be the end of WWE. But I'm lucky that everything panned out, and WrestleMania 34. So WrestleMania last year was the most watched WrestleMania of all time, and I believe this WrestleMania is going to top it. We have obviously Ronda Rousey just signed a WWE Raw contract. I'm interested to see what she's going to do at WrestleMania. I'm very curious and very interested to see what the modern-day Maharaja has planned at WrestleMania. Obviously, we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles, which wow, man, that's an amazing match. I truly am curious to see. I will be probably watching from the curtain to see how that matchup is going to go. I know stylistically, it's a perfect matchup. I've been in the ring with both of those guys. And Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns, I heard what he had to say about Brock Lesnar last night, and he's getting personal. It's getting very personal, and Brock Lesnar, he don't like to be poked, so that's a big matchup. But I believe this will be a blockbuster WrestleMania.
Yeah, looking forward to it. You mentioned the UK fans as well, and against AJ Styles in your match. How much are you looking forward to the next UK tour and seeing the UK fans again?
Yeah, definitely. I love the UK tours. It reminds us again, why we do what we do. It's 2 weeks, and just the passion that the crowds give us. And oftentimes when we land at the airport is packed of fans. Chanting and screaming our names. Or we go to the hotel and the lobby is packed full of fans. Here in the United States, we travel on our own. We stay at different hotels. Everybody comes in on different flights. So we don't have that type of interaction most of the time. Sometimes we do. But in the UK, the fans know when the plane of WWE superstars is arriving. And just to see the passion that they have, it truly is awesome. And it reminds us what a global phenomenon, what a global reach we have. So for the first time, I'm competing in Hungary. Hopefully, if I'm on that tour, we go to a place like Hungary. So I look forward to visiting new places and experiencing the culture and stepping out and seeing some of the scenery. So it's very exciting, and we're very blessed as WWE superstars to be able to travel the world.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much. Look forward to seeing you on the tour. Good luck at WrestleMania.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ash. Andres in Germany, you can go ahead.
Hello, Andres here. So, Jinder, you are away from home for the most time of the year. How is your family and friends supporting you with that hard schedule? And what do you do in your free time at home?
Everybody is very, very supportive in my life. So I'm still young here, so I'm not married yet. I don't have any kids. But I see some of the other WWE superstars who are married or have kids, and I know it's very tough on them. But their families are very, very supportive and very, very proud. So just like that, my parents are very, very supportive. They've always supported me from the beginning, and they're very proud. And actually, one of the proudest moments that I've had ever is when I got to bring the WWE Championship home, and seeing the look on my parents' faces when they were holding my championship. That's a very, very special moment. And my parents were taking pictures with it. So along with me, like my parents have made many, many sacrifices to get me to where I am right now. Like they immigrated to Canada with no money. They had to work like 2 jobs to support their children so we could accomplish our dreams. So definitely that's very cool. I have the support of all my friends and family. I look forward to continue to making them proud. But definitely the WWE schedule is very grueling, but it's also very rewarding.
Yeah, that's cool to hear. So if you could change something on your gimmick, on your character, fashion style, or entrance music, for example, what would it be?
Honestly, I would become a better dancer. Honestly, I would love to someday do like a Bollywood theme celebration. So I've had the Punjabi celebration when I won the WWE Championship. But how cool would it be if I was dancing in the middle of it, the spotlight was on me, and I was actually a good dancer. But until then, I will hire the other professional dancers.
Yeah. And what are your plans for the time when you are retired from wrestling, which is, I think, a long time still, but Do you have any plans for the time after?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, everybody's has a day where their WWE in-ring career ends. Hopefully, mine's in a long time, which it will be. I'm still very young. I still have a lot to accomplish. But I would love something work backstage in the WWE. I know WWE is expanding worldwide at a very, very fast pace. You know, in countries or places like South America, countries like India and China. You know, I definitely believe that I have a lot to contribute. Maybe as something I could be a commentator or a host. You know, maybe host something in WWE India related. Because actually, for the first time ever, Raw and SmackDown right now, it just got announced, is going to be aired with live Hindi commentary. And last year was the first time that WrestleMania was aired live on the WWE Network with Hindi commentary. So definitely that would be a very cool opportunity for me. And commentary would be cool because I could give my opinion based on my expertise, based on my experiences within the WWE.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, and see you at WrestleMania, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andres. Is there anybody that I missed?
Yeah, this is Rohit from Sportkita.
Oh, go ahead. Didn't realize you were on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Jinder.
Hello.
Would you be open to... can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Yes.
Jinder, would you be open to, possibly moving back to Raw next time there's a draft or a superstar shakeup?
Yeah, absolutely. I go wherever I'm called. Raw, SmackDown Live is a land of opportunity. I took advantage of that opportunity. But I believe that I am one of the main superstars in WWE, and whether I'm on Raw or whether I'm on SmackDown, I will be successful. Definitely, I could see there being a shakeup. You know, some superstars will switch, but whichever side I'm on, Raw or SmackDown, I'm more than happy to represent that brand and compete against the superstars of that respective brand and win either the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship again.
So my second question is, recently Rusev has, gained a lot of popularity with, his Rusev Day gimmick. And what do you think, about his progression, and do you see yourself, reinventing your character down the road?
Yeah, the Rusev Day is taking the WWE by storm, but that's a cool thing with WWE. You never know what's going to click. Like Daniel Bryan had the Yes movement. I mean, that was phenomenal. It became a spectacle. Even to this very day, the crowd is still chanting, doing the Yes chants. Or something like Fandangling happened that post WrestleMania Raw. So you never know what's going to catch on. But the WWE, sometimes they take something that you don't expect, and it becomes massive, a massive hit. Those types of things can't be predicted, they can't be planned. Yes, I would like to have my own moment like that, but it just has to happen organically, just like Rusev Day happened organically, just like the Yes movement happened organically. It's something will happen, but it's hard to plan. But when it happens, it just happens, and that's the cool thing with the WWE. It really is the WWE universe. It's our fans' decision that what catches on and what doesn't.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier on the call that you all titles in WWE. So if you were to go out to the tag team titles, who would you see yourself partnering up with? Would it be someone like Drew McIntyre, who you have history with, or would it be someone like Rusev, who you also with?
Drew would be awesome. I know he's focused on his singles career. He's doing his rehab. He's looking forward to coming back stronger than ever. But I think someday, I spoke about this earlier, there will be a reunion. We will be more successful than in the past. So definitely to be tag champions. Currently, someone like Elias, I think, would be a great tag partner. But also in NXT at the Performance Center, there are many future superstars that are training very, very hard, and new Indian superstars. Like a few of them just got signed. So I'm excited to see where they're going to go in the future. They're going to work hard to become main roster superstars, whether on Raw and SmackDown. I would love to take one of them, and hopefully by then in a few years, I have more experience in the WWE, and I could almost take, like a mentorship role, and bring them to Raw or SmackDown, and together we can hold a tag team championship. I think that would be very cool.